This is Recruitment Agency Ignition with Andy Whitehead. Helping you build your recruitment employment business fast. Using digital and automation and one-to-many systems, tools, and inbound strategies.
So welcome for those checking in now for this week's call with Gerard Ball. So today is a hot seat. Gerard, are you there?
Afternoon.
Let's do this then. So Gerard, got your notes pre today, and I want to say a few things. Okay, I want to spend the first part of your call going through your story. Okay, and with the best intent. If we've got a new member on the call now, or indeed someone who's doing Epic, but you know how it is. We have it's being an entrepreneur. It goes up and down, doesn't it? And there'll be someone on the call now who are going to be in a place. It's life, personal or professionally. We have someone on the call now in a buzzing place and somewhere in the middle. Okay. What I want you to do though is go back to when you were at the point of 50K. So right at the beginning, and when you first came to Inner Circle, and share what was going on inside your business. At that point, what were the three main frustrations? It could be an hour thing. It could be a worry around finance. It could be a simple lead thing. But if we go back to those days of when you first joined us, or just before, just break down if you could. What may be the three or four big frustrations at that point?
Okay. So I've been in recruitment 20 odd years. I've worked in large PLC environments, and I've started up and ran pan-European recruitment companies. So I've had a pretty successful career behind me. Then I found myself in a situation in my last business where I was traveling to London every day, hour and a half commute there, hour and a half commute back. And really I had no work-life balance at all. I had some capital behind me to launch Human Capital Group, and we've been going for probably about 20 months now. And I started up with about £50,000 capital behind me. But the big decision was to go 100% solo to begin with, so no business partners or anything. So the fear was, can I develop the business and headhunt the candidates consistently enough whilst sitting in a back bedroom and motivating myself? And the way that I used to recruit, I had to be making 70, 100 phone calls a day, pitching 20 people. That was my rough KPIs beforehand. And it was really, did I want to go into that business where I'm sat in a room by myself having to do all of these volumes of phone calls and really driving myself every day and thinking, can I do it? Because it's quite a lot of pressure to do it, because I know you've got to do it every day and you've got to do it consistently if I'm going to be successful. So I started looking around for other ways to do things and other ways that I could develop candidates and develop clients, which is how I came across you.
So if we go back first of all to those first steps, Gerard, right at the beginning. So you got this 50K capital, and the frustrations you've got then, as in real frustrations, as in operational frustrations, or the tangibles around, shit, am I going to be able to pay for my house, my family? What were the frustrations at that point? And maybe members now who are either they joined or they're on a dip, what it might be, they can relate to. What will those frustrations be?
The frustrations before Human Capital Group, probably in my first 6 months as well at Human Capital Group, was up and down months, real inconsistency. The data was not really mapped out. It was all a bit of a jumble, to be honest. The frustrations were having clarity in what our USP was as a business, and I guess it was a worry about, you know, having a USP against everybody else in the marketplace when effectively I'm a one-man band in a back bedroom. Just worry really was the big thing.
Yeah. So when you say mapping or authority, you know, these are phrases you've used inside the inner circle. But that worry then that you had, which is, you know, the emotional side of things, that worry came about because of what? Not enough what?
Well, it was that, you know, I didn't have any authority in the marketplace. Nobody knew me as a business. It was whether I could, if I got positions on board, yeah, could I actually fill them? You know, you know, my marketplace is really tight, so it's you get given one opportunity, and if you perform well, you get given the opportunity again. But if you don't perform, you're off their radar for, you know, well, for whenever. So, you know, could I deliver on the roles which I brought in, which in turn then added to, if I get multiple roles in as a effectively one-man band with a VA, can I deliver on multiple roles and feel confident when pitching my client that I can deliver?
Yeah. Okay.
And then a lack of, so, and then that builds into a lack of time. So my thoughts going into the business was, for me to, you know, to be able to deliver, I'm going to be working 24 hours a day. Yeah, you know, not quite 24 hours a day, but, you know, a good 12, 13, 14 hour days.
Yeah, because I've
got a young family.
Yeah, we got this view on me. It's like the traditional recruitment is, you know, you put in X units, get X units out. We work 10 hours and then we get, you know, we put 10 units in and get 10 units out. And whole thing is one to many here. We put 10 units in and get 100 out. Okay, good. So that's where we were then. So we've got we've been in recruitment for a long time. However, can I get the roles? Can I deliver the roles? But then if I get the roles, can I actually scale it? I'm going to kill myself. So we've got this thing going on. Now, when you joined us, I'm going to be careful not to share things I shouldn't be sharing. April 2017 then. So we got, April 2017, we got 50,000 capital, haven't we?
Yes,
which is good. Now, I know that we spoke, so it's January 2018 where you had balls of steel. You said, Andy, I'll test this new CAS strategy, and we create these templates. I'll do it online in front of everyone, week on week for 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks in January, wasn't it? So that was a year ago that we had those 4 weeks, wasn't it? And then in this last year, you've now got to the point of doing, so if we say Feb is the last account month, so 320k pro rata is where we're at for the year, and 320k per year, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep. And I know you said you had X in your pipeline, and then I'm pretty certain you said on the Nitro call we had. So new members, we've got 2 groups. We've got Ignition. So if you're definitely below sort of 500-ish, or, you know, or if you got a process on the way to it, you might well be in that group. But there's different challenges again. So tactics and, you know, templates, all that cool stuff is maybe the ignition phase, and Nitro we get into the team and, you know, the role, etc. So on that call, you said that next year you want to get to 400, didn't you?
Yes.
And I said, Gerard, let's go. Let's look to double it. You know, if not a bit more. So the plan to do that, we'll come back to in a minute, okay? But first of all, what I want to do is, first of all, guys, in terms of what Gerard shared so far, in terms of like where he was, the transparency, which thank you, Gerard, for where he was, the frustrations, who can relate to it? Let me know in the chat box. And then number 2, let's do this, Gerard. The process of getting from that capital 50k to the 320k per year, well, startup essentially, and it's 320k, isn't it? Is what we're talking about here. If we go through that, and it's like an 18-month and a bit window, that journey, what I want you to do is, if you could do this, if you could share maybe, first of all, a bit of context. So over the course of that 18, 20 months, these are the main 3 things that I did. These are 3 things that I would do again, and these are 3 things that I would do differently. Okay, so I'll say it again.
Right.
So sort of a high level. This is my sort of 3, you know, the 3 things that that I did. these are the three things that I would do again or do more of or focus my time on. And these are three things that I would do less of. That if we broke it down into the three things that you did to get from startup to 320K, if you could summarize the three main strategy, tactics, or even, don't make it technical, things about you, or what would it be?
Okay. So I started off with a VA. Who I already knew from my previous business. So I brought her in with me straight away. Essential.
Yep.
Yeah. $5 an hour. They were kind of full time, but also part time. So I only paid them when they worked. So if I didn't have the volume of work there, then they didn't get paid. So the cost to me in that startup phase was fairly low.
Yep. So the VA came in and straight from the start. So when we went through your game plan then, Gerald, for example, and we said, right, Gerald, these are your first 6 steps. You gave the VA, we won't talk tools, by the way, but you gave the VA specific tasks, yeah?
Yes.
Yep. So we had a sort of controlled set of tasks. So we got through. We said we got this startup to doing where we are now, 320. And the 3 reasons you've got there, one is VA. The VA has made this happen for you. What's the second thing that's made it happen to you?
VA's changed it for me. Well, the CAS definitely changed it for me.
Cool. Let's focus on that then. So from your perspective, Gerard, the CAS, how's it been used for you then? 'Cause I know you did some testing with us with the CAS. How's it been used for you in the last year or so?
So firstly, it's not been used enough, and we've not run enough CAS campaigns.
Okay, good.
Okay? It's what it's done for me is give me real clarity on what I am presenting to my clients and our sales process, and it has given me real clarity and confidence when pitching to those clients, and it's given me a process to pitch to those clients, and has helped me really understand what the client's real frustrations are and what I'm trying to solve. So that was the basic journey of writing it. Writing it and going through rewrite after rewrite till we got it where we think is right. Yeah. So that's the benefit it's given to me personally. What it's brought into the business is it brought in our first retained work.
Yep.
It also got me to other appointments with real big house builders, which unfortunately fell through. But also opened up a conversation with what's probably one of our best clients who didn't see the CAS, but we talked through the CAS, and they started using our services because I'd been through that process.
Yeah, and let's take one step back of me, Gerard. Again, for those who've not been in a circle for a year, what Gerard did, he didn't just take someone else's and copied it. He put the work in. So that work of, how long did it take you, Gerard?
It was about 3 or 4 different rewrites.
It was painful, wasn't it?
It was really, really painful. But in terms of time, it was just one of those tasks that needs to be done. Yeah, you just need to go through the pain, and it's not an enjoyable, unless you like writing, which I don't. Then it's not an enjoyable process. So time-wise, we got through it fairly quick. As I say, we probably had it done within 2-3 months of launching. But yeah, the process is painful, but it needs to be done.
And then what we do is, when we have the conversation with the client, essentially there's a session called the CAS conversion call, which mirrors the CAS, and then that's how you convert. So if you do the CAS properly, the conversion should, I mentioned John Sott earlier. He had 100% conversion using the CAS, and Ken was on his HotSeat before Christmas, and a 300K a month HotSeat, and CAS was a main part in this traction phase. So the CAS again is coming up again and again and again, but you must do it properly, because it sets the tone for really getting inside your client's head for the next 5+ years. Do it once and it's done. So CAS was key for you. It gave you that clarity. It gave you that process. If there was a third, what would the third one be?
Well, it's between it's campaigns on LinkedIn and campaigns on RRR.
Okay, good.
They're kind of
So that's key as well. I said that very subtle. So when you say campaigns, then for both, what does that mean in terms of actually relating to your 320k?
they've mainly been the candidate campaigns. So getting candidates in. So project, I don't know, project director role comes up in London. Identify who they are on LinkedIn. Send a campaign through LinkedIn or to LinkedIn. Have VA deal with the responses and book them into my diary, and do something similar on RRR.
Okay, so we got a campaign then. So we have a campaign we've now automated, and that campaign essentially VA runs it, and then it goes into your diary.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So that's obviously saved you time, but also has given you an increase in numbers.
Discover how to build your recruitment employment agency using one-to-many automation and inbound strategies before anyone else in your market specialization. Check out recruitmentmarketinginternational.com.